let's talk some speculation. Our favorite time. You're a few days away from the first actual practice prepping for the Buffalo Bills. But before that, there was a lot of talk about Micah Parsons becoming the Baltimore Raven. The Ravens were one of the few teams that were actually in the list for a lot of people who are, talking about this that could potentially be a Raven. Obviously, he does get traded to the Green Bay Packers in a conference trade, 2 first-round picks, as well as another player, a defensive tackle. I think it was Kelly or something like that. I can't remember what the exact name was. Okay, there you go. Crazy trade, considering that many consider Micah Parsons to be a first ballot Hall of Famer when it's all said and done, even though he's pretty young still. Kevin, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think the Ravens should have made a play for Micah Parsons? And if so, do you think that the compensation that the Packers gave was something that the Ravens could have done and still felt satisfied at the end of the day?
Yeah, I mean, look, if there's a guy you're going to give up the farm for, I think Micah Parsons is on that short list of guys you should do it for. I mean, I know the term generational player is thrown out there a lot more than it should these days. I think Micah Parsons, though, is truly a talent that it exceeds universes at times, considering how good he can be on the football field. There was never a shot the Ravens were going to do it, though, and I've talked about that on bonus episodes I've had about the potential of Parsons in Baltimore. It just doesn't fit the MO of what the team values. And like Parsons himself would make this team instantly a Super Bowl contender. If I had to give a similar package to what the Cowboys ended up getting from Green Bay, it probably would have been 2 firsts and a Travis Jones potentially. Like, I think that's probably what it would have been to go get Micah Parsons. Plus, on top of it, obviously, they did give him that $47 million per season, highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. So, to me, there was never a shot that it was going to happen. You can look at it a couple of different ways, and the one that I look at it as is I would love to have Micah, but it's what side of it are you on? Are you on the Micah Parsons side and that he would be good enough for this defense, or the extensions the Ravens have to get done? We know there are a lot of them. They've had a couple. We know Hamilton signed and Henry and Bateman. But if you look at that $47 million, that probably means Zay Flowers is gone. That probably means Tyler Linderbaum is gone. That probably means if Travis Jones is in that trade, he's gone. That probably means, and Mark Andrews and Afe, oh, wait, there's no shot those guys are coming back. It might mean Marlon Humphrey's gone after this or next year, whenever his contract is up. You probably aren't going to be able to get Jaire back. It's a laundry list of guys. Plus, on top of that, we know that the Ravens love their draft picks, their first rounders. When they traded for Roquan Smith, everyone's like, that's a crazy Ravens trade. They never give up second round picks. And you're asking them to give up 2 first rounders plus a really good player, plus almost $50 million per year in cap space. So it's about 5 or 6 of their players already on the roster, plus 2 affordable starters. Because I think they look at their first rounders, starters. So, you go out there, it's like 7 to 8 potential players that you're not going to be able to re-sign, maybe a little less than that. So while Parsons himself is incredible, it's just not how the Ravens operate. And to me, I know there was a lot of heartbreak within the fan base, and the idea of Parsons, that broke my heart. But it was never really that big to me because I never expected it to happen in the first place.
Here's a bold take. If you said to Steve Bisciotti, I will guarantee you a Super Bowl victory, name the team, it could be Philadelphia or the Commanders or whoever, but you'll hoist up another Lombardi if you make this trade, and you will miss the playoffs for the next 7 years. Would you do it?
But is there still a guarantee that not a guarantee? Is there still a possibility you win the Super Bowl in those 8 years?
If you ain't making the playoffs, how are you going to make it? How are you going to get in the Super Bowl?
No. I'm saying if the deal is Super Bowl guarantee, but you miss the playoffs the next 7 seasons, or you get a chance to win a Super Bowl in the next 8 years. Is that what you're saying?
No, there ain't no or.
Oh, there's no or. Okay.
There's no or.
There's no or. How
you trying
to find a way to get in.
I was trying to find a way.
We ain't trying to do all that. See?
Okay.
See,
Okay.
I'm on to you now.
I gotta be better. Look,
I'm not doing it.
Look, Bisciotti wants to win now. We know that.
Oh yeah, win now. You're right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, give it up. Let's go.
So you think the
Man.
Ravens should have done it, Q?
They
Because I think in the
would have
world
been
that
better off than getting David Clowney.
Well, hey, now that's the way you see, and that's a good segue to the segment of now that's your option. Now it's Clowney.
Oh,
So you could have Jabo for Clowney
Jadavian
is now where we're back
Clowney,
to.
Micah Parsons. Jadavian
Yeah.
Clowney, Micah Parsons. Come on.
Yeah, the difference is that Clowney would be like a 1 year, $4 million deal, and Parsons is 4 years, $1 bajillion. So
188 million.
And
five,
and
yeah,
so
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you would get that guaranteed, hoist up your third Lombardi, like guaranteed. You're just hoisting it up.
Yeah,
Or
literally.
you're saying, well, you know what? We got salary cap space for the next couple of years, and we're going to develop these guys, and we'll miss the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, Parsons would have been as close to a guaranteed Super Bowl as you could have gotten.
Oh yeah, I would have told people not to suit up. Just stay home. Stay home. Don't waste your time. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I am struggling with the notion of, well, one, Mike Green helps me out a lot. It makes this decision a little easier for me because I think Mike Green could eventually become, we don't know for sure. That's the difference. You got a guaranteed player at Micah Parsons, and then maybe, probably, but we don't really know until we see him, and Mike Green. So that's the one thing. The other thing I think is if the Ravens gave your offer of 2 first-rounders and Travis Jones, or I heard people say Odafe Owe, and the Packers with their offer, I think the Cowboys would rather trade with the Ravens, considering they're not in the same conference, and I think the player that you get is a little better than the one they got from Green Bay. So it probably tells us that the Ravens weren't anywhere near getting the type of deal done with the Cowboys as many maybe assumed they were or probably could have done. I think the first round pick, to your point, Kevin, probably nailed the head right there. In fact, if we look at our first round picks for the Ravens in the past, Malaki Starks, Nate Wiggins, Zay Flowers, Tyler Linderbaum, Kyle Hamilton, those are the last 5 first round picks for the Ravens. They're all heavy contributors right now. Kyle Hamilton just got a big deal. We expect Zay Flowers to get one. Then you have Odafe Owe, Rashod Bateman, Patrick Queen, Marcus Brown, and Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. So you're trading away, and these are all people drafted in the 20s and 30s. Trading away a good possibility of getting your star player. So I don't know. Very interesting. But with all this being said, without the Micah Parsons nonsense, do you see a realm in which the Ravens do, in fact, make a push for Jadeveon Clowney?
Yes.
Or was it Darius Smith, Kevin, before the middle of the season? Let's say that middle of the season.
Man, this conversation just,
I love it. I love Q's
invigorates
face.
me. I love it. At least the room's not spinning for him anymore. At least, yeah. Oh, there. All right, there he goes. There it is. You know, I think, to me, not right now, but I say that if those two guys are looking for opportunities, they don't like what is out there right now, they could potentially wait a couple weeks into the season. And for some reason, if Baltimore's pass rush group, if their edge group isn't giving them what they need there, if, Owe is struggling, if Inoue is struggling, if Robinson isn't doing what they need him to do, maybe Mike Green's hitting a rookie wall, I don't know, and they feel like they just need another guy in there, I think that at that point, you probably make a move to cut Ajabo and bring in a Clowney. But I think that they will not make that move before the season starts. It will probably be something where Eric DeCosta is always looking for ways to improve. I mean, we know Kyle Van Noy signed a couple weeks into the season a couple years ago. Like, they're not afraid to make that move happen. I mean, even in 2019, Eric DeCosta kind of sent the message there where Tim Williams wasn't getting the job done. They cut him, I think, after week 4, and then they bring in LJ Fort, Josh Bynes. They trade for Marcus Peters. Like, if something's not working, Eric DeCosta is very quick to say, all right, what's the thing we can do? What, snap the fingers. What's the thing we can do to get this team up back on the right track? And so I think that for Clowney, as Darius Smith, if they're still out there, and I'm not saying they're going to be, but if they're still out there when the Ravens need them, it could just be a, hey, what do you got going on? You feel like this is the right fit for you, and then they can kind of move from.
I'm just saying, like, why we even got to talk about this when we got Mike Green? Can't we just say his name for, like, the rest of the show? Mike Green, Mike Green, Mike Green. Woo, man.
I like it.
I mean,
You're right.
Dave Lele is going to be first team All-Pro.
That's true.
Why we need
like
to worry about Davion?
I like
we don't even need to worry about that. Corey Bullock's going to go ahead and be, I don't know, just the backup of all backups. And y'all sitting there talking about Travis Jones like he just like sliced bread. No.
Yeah.
Travis Jones is literally going to be a menace to society up the middle to the point where Mike Green is going to be dominating on the outside. And then they're going to be talking about Dafe. What happened to him? Oh, Dafe. Right. So we won't even have to worry about Jadeveon. All will be right with the world.
I agree. Mike Green.
Yeah, that's all we got to say. That's all we got to say.
I agree completely. And one other note that he said, which I was totally baffled with, 43 of the 53 players on the Ravens roster are either drafted or signed as an undrafted free agent rookie. You know, that's insane. Tampa Bay has 44 of 53, but still for a Super Bowl contending roster, that is absolutely massive to have for the Ravens. So shout out to Eric DaCosta. He covets his first round picks, as I'm sure he should. And Jeremiah, before we end the show, says that Travis Jones is the top 10 DT right now, in his opinion. I agree. I think he's going to work very well with Matty Beeks, and there's a chance that he can supplant Matty BK, potentially, depending on, you know, the cap space, which we talk about all the time.